Status. Let's see if Benedek broke Orchard 1. Probably not.
I didn't break anything in the past few days.
Fetch wall. Nothing has been broken. Nothing has been merged with PR. That's weird.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a PR, but that's it for Orchard, and also the NuGet package for using Roselyn.
Oh, you have a PR for the NuGet package for using Roselyn. Did you submit the PR to Roselyn or?
Not Roselyn directly, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's a there's a separate package for using Roselyn as a compiler service.
This one? This is this PR?
Yes, so this pull request is updated. So when the PR to the Roselyn code Domprovider is merged, then we just need to bump up the version number in the references and the packages config, and it's going to be wonderful. Well, if and when my PR is merged and there's a new release.
Of what?
Of the Roselyn code Domprovider.
So we have to wait for them to publish that.
Yeah, unfortunately. So we can't redo it without that, or we can kind of copy it or use a fork release. I link the pull request. Just 1 second.
Two pull requests.
Oh, yeah, you have it already. Yeah.
And you got a comment, or did you comment by yourself?
No, that's my comment.
Okay.
Oh, for the issue, and that's the Microsoft automated stuff. So I haven't really got a reply, and it's been a week.
I will ping them because I have a contact. I have names. I have names.
You have your okay. That's perfect. That would be very nice.
So yeah. Should have kept it to the basic, to the bare minimum changes, because otherwise they could complain, oh no, we don't want to change that, please change your PR, and then you send a new update and then you have to wait again a week for them to look at it.
Oh, hopefully not. Well,
yeah, but that's the issue with these things.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, if you go far, they will say no.
Well, I hope they appreciate code quality changes.
What is that?
Okay, so short explanation. What happens is that we need to pass a custom parameter when we are using the compiler service, because there's a way already in the latest release of this to use a global path, but that's not sufficient, unfortunately, for us. When you want to say that this is where you're going to find the C# compiler, we need one that can be defined per project. So in the web config. And so for the modules, you need to go up to directories, to the Orchard web, and then to bin Roselyn.
Look at what you're doing. This can just have them delay the PR just because you change things which don't need to be changed. You see here? Yeah, you fixed you used this lambda. Yeah, we could think it's nice. They might think, no, we don't want to change how we write the code, so please remove it from your PR.
Okay, well, the code there is already inconsistent, so. But I see what you mean. I understand. the reasoning, although I don't agree with it.
Because they don't want.
But I'm sure you don't agree with this either. So.
When was the last commit on this project?
I don't know. Months ago.
Well, they made a pull request, so it's oh yeah, okay, that's good.
There was a release, yeah, a release recently, so.
Okay, that's good at least. There is some activity. Yeah, I was just afraid that they don't want to change anything, not to break anything, so any change you put in the pull request might be a reason not to accept the pull request. Or to delay the answer, like saying, we don't want to comment on that. They did things, we don't care. Okay, let's see. Request closed. Yeah, but the pull requests here were from the team itself.
And that's just, I think, to the master branch to make a release, I guess.
Okay, we'll see. So waiting for that, but you said you. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to click on the tab. Too slow. Conversation. What? Okay. So status. This was all for this repository. Orchard core. Seven days, mostly bug fixes. So this is Nick working on jsonapi, GraphiQL, sorry. This is a PR which has been merged, fixing an issue. This one is that there is a new feature called static file provider that if you enable it on a tenant will provide a way for you to serve static files per tenant. So you could have the same static file name in different folders, but served differently by each tenant, either by domain or prefix. Okay. The reason was that someone wanted to provide an application key or certificate validation or a domain verification, the fact that the domain ownership verification. So you need to place some static files with specific content in your tenant, and this you could not do for different domains, for different tenants. So now you can with this feature. You just have, so if you enable it, there will be a root folder in the tenants folder, under each tenants folder, like app data /site/ name of the tenant / root, and there you can place files that will be served once you enable this feature. And you can have also Let's Encrypt certificates now, because it was required also for Let's Encrypt. This is updating all the reference packages to 2.0.1, and to be able to do that, now there is a new file in the build folder that references all the ASP.NET packages and their current version. We have to do that because they decided to not to bump packages versions which haven't changed. So now we have a mix of 2.00 and 2.01. We talked about it last week, and so I took this file, and now in every CS proj we have to change here, instead of using the same version for everyone, we have to use the specific package version. Yep. And we do that so that when we want to change all the versions, well, all the packages, well, all our projects references to specific packages, we can do it in a central location. Updating Travis badges with the actual files from Travis. Then this is Chris, which was merged somewhere. This was dev merged to master, so we released unofficially beta 1 by merging to master. Then I accepted all the PRs which were waiting to merge master, so Daniel's Azure Blob Storage, Chris metadata tag helpers, Shay metadata tag helpers, and Antoine's Bootstrap 4 beta. And I think that's it so far. Now there are more to merge, but they require more review, so that will be done. Raising. This is Jean-Thierry working on an embedded branch. The idea being to remove any MS build step that needs that is required to copy all the files from every module into the apps/packages folder. So whenever you build Orchard Core, the framework, all the modules will be inspected, and their static assets, their views, their static files, their liquid files will be copied under the main apps packages folder. So it's a copy every time. And yeah, so this, to prevent that, is trying to embed all these files in the modules assemblies. So there is no more. This step of copying all the files is not required, because all the files will be included in the assembly, and then some specific file provider will provide the files from the assembly directly. So he's working on that to simplify the experience of developing, and maybe also the performance. So he's still working on that, but he's making some good progress. And that's it. Questions? Oh, and then because so you must have seen the tweet, we shipped beta 1 in master, so we merged beta 1 in master, and a half an hour ago we got the blog post announced. So blogs, MSDN, web dev. So the release note that I shared a month ago has been released on the web dev blog. So now it's official, it's available. Good questions?
That's awesome.
What do you know?
What do you mean?
You don't know Orchard Core.
Oh, come on. Well, I was specifically referring to the blog post and the announcement, but okay.
Oh, that's fine then. Thank you. No, that's good. We could blog post on the ASP.NET blog. It makes more officialization of the project. So that's good. And you can see Orchard Core framework, Orchard Core CMS, two different things, completely independent. Well, if you use the CMS, you have to use a framework, but you can use a framework without the CMS at all. Okay. Yep. The details on what's new. More things are new, but the most important things which are new, and some links to start from. Yeah, how to start the new project from Chris Payne's video that's recorded on live ASP.NET, Docker Hub images, and documentation. Okay, that's good. Roadmap, link to the roadmap. Let's take a look at the roadmap. I updated it also a few weeks ago. So beta November 2017, beta 2 January 2017. Very optimistic, but we'll see. what we have already started and or finished and or not started but will have to be done or postponed. Workflows, Sipke is here. It's almost done. It will show us next week. Email, we have a PR, GraphQL. Nick has been working on that. We've seen some progress already. Azure Blob Storage has been merged. There might be some things to add, but mostly done. Then taxonomies, I will do it. That's the plan. Output caching, we might need a better output caching than the current response caching module, but that's not, we don't need that to ship beta 2. It's already fast. It should be an easy module, but let's see if someone wants to take it. Localization, meaning content item localization, but also view localization, which doesn't work so far. We have the module, but it's not configured and we need some settings. That should be easy to do. Not for the content item localization, that won't be easy to do, that will be some work, but all the solutions are there. We just need to do the same thing as Outward one, so that should be not hard, just some work. Update all the recipes and create new ones. So we've seen some issues with the themes that we made, like some in the recipes are sometimes we need to add, sometimes we need to remove, some widget types are missing. What else? The themes themselves have been updated to Bootstrap 4, so we can update them. And when I mean the themes, if I look at theme, so the one we are using from Start Bootstrap, so the Start Bootstrap website has updated the theme we use. Okay, like this one, you see, this one we are using, but there is new default banner. They change everything to Bootstrap 4. Same thing for this one also we are using. They also updated it to Bootstrap 4, so we can update it. So they updated that also to Bootstrap 4, and we might want to add one or two of the others, like the application one, the resume one. Why not? We can talk about it. But yeah, they are simple. They are MIT licensed, so we are good to take them. And I assume people like that. And also, yeah, fix the issues with the layout. For instance, on this one where you can't add a new page because the layout container is actually in the template of the home page. It should be in the main layout, so you can create new kind of pages for that. Yeah, fix these themes to make them even better. And that would be great. And probably also document them to be able to tune them, to change them, to customize them. So the theming here. Content filtering navigation, we need a content tree. So that's the goal. So totally doable. All these ones have already been PR'd or started and almost done. These ones have to be done, but they are not very complex to make. The complexity has been done before, okay, with all the infrastructure to make those modules and the features. The rest should be quite straightforward to make. They are mostly migrations from Orchard 1. Good. Plus things we'll discover in the meantime and new stuff we didn't put in the roadmap, but people wanted to do. Like we have OpenID to reintegrate and to upgrade to the 2.0 version of the OpenID packages. So yeah, that will be new stuff that we didn't think about. Good. Questions? Demos, Nick?
No, I was going to do one. I know. It's broken. I can't honestly believe it. It's broken. Yeah, I'm kind of gutted because it was going to be really cool.
What? Well, that's an opinion. Ask Bertrand if it's a fact.
Bertrand, it would have been cool, wouldn't it?
What would have it been about?
It would have been the full graph IQ. Pardon?
What now?
You didn't follow.
You didn't follow. It's
It was
okay.
about opinions and facts. So Nick's opinion was that it would have been awesome. I'm like, that's an opinion.
That's like your opinion, man.
Yeah, you see, Nick.
Oh, I know. It's a fact because I said it.
But apparently, if multiple people have the same opinion, it becomes a fact. That's what I learned yesterday. Yeah. So the flat Earth, it's becoming a fact because lots of people think about it. So
I'm a flat earther.
you see. So what would have been it about?
No, it would have been the full GraphiQL stuff inside of the Orchard UI. So I wanted to demo that.
The what?
So
what is GraphiQL?
GraphiQL is, go onto Google, type GraphiQL, all one word.
Browser IDE.
Scroll down. But there's a little bit more to it. If you try the live demo, on the right hand side you've got docs, so that when you load this up it will give you your full schema. So you can build the schema using this, you can build the query on the left hand side using the schema on the right hand side.
Okay, so you have that integrated?
Yes.
As a page?
Yes.
So there is a menu item like GraphiQL or whatever, and then you get that, and then you have access to the schema that
of your entire tenant. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And then you can build and test your queries.
Exactly. That's the idea. And I had it working, but I don't have it working now, which is kind of annoying. But kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's great.
So that's fact.
And does it have? Yeah, it has to be hosted somewhere.
Yeah. No, it would be in the tenant.
It looks cool. But I'm sure it's. We'll see.
It looks pretty much the same inside of the Orchard UI, except you have the menu items on the left. The only other thing is I changed the GraphQL endpoints to be a middleware rather than a controller.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. We will have to think about security, things like this, like that. Yeah, like adding permissions to run a specific GraphQL query.
Yep.
And like we do for you just copy paste what we do for the SQL queries, for instance. So you can define what roles have access to what queries or all the queries. And the next thing then will be limiting, probably if there is a way we could plug another middleware in the middle as a different feature to be able to limit the throughput of the queries. That you might want. If it's a public query, for instance, we might want to limit it, I don't know, per user or per whatever, per key, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Have to think about it.
Yeah.
That's common from when.
Well, an authorization key wouldn't go amiss. So, but we have, the cool thing is we have OAuth.
Yeah,
so,
we need to see how we can plug it with OpenID and their tokens that we generate. That will be a solution. But there is an authorization, and then there is the rates limit. If we want also to add the rates limit, that might be just a middleware. Okay.
I figured that the OAuth stuff would have been enough.
Well, authorization is one thing. Then rate limiting is another thing.
Yeah, so rate limiting might be an interesting one. I was thinking about looking at putty. Maybe put putty in there so that...
what it is? How do you spell it?
Putty. Is it putty?
No, putty is a client for SSH, no?
I thought it was putty rate limiting or something like that. Rate.
There are external solutions also which exist, so you can protect your APIs with. I don't know if you want to ship one, a very simple one by default, just to limit the average, like n numbers by hour. You see, by IP, something like that, something very simple, at least, because if you want more management, there are lots of solutions online. Azure has one, API management. Google has one, or they all have one solution. Okay, AWS has one also. So.
Oh, Poly. It's called Poly. Polly. That's what yeah, so it's a thing called Poly. I don't think it's on SPV Next anymore. I think it's something different. But yeah, it's a rate limiting thing and allows you to do bulkhead stuff. And
okay, that might cool. Maybe cool.
Might be interesting.
Okay. Just mentioning in case you didn't think about it, so that's good. Okay, good. So questions? Topics, I don't think there is anything special. Are there things we talked about last week we needed to ask the community? One did I mention we need to ask the community usually? No, I don't think so. No, pretty straightforward, nothing more to say. We know what modules we need to ship for beta 2. We'll get some feedback on beta 1. Probably more traffic and issues, hopefully PRs. Lots of issues because they will find lots of issues. We know there are lots of issues, though they will find them too. But it's a beta 1, so that's expected. Yep, that's good.
We have a bunch of brand new issues on the Orchard Core repo. Did you want to triage a little bit now?
Triage usually every Thursday. Even with Antoine, we did that last 2 weeks. I can take a look. But I don't think there is anything special, otherwise I would have answered already. Usually pretty well triaged. Oh, crap.
I do the same.
So if I look at issues...
Yeah, there was just, see, there's about, in the last 2 days, a whole bunch have appeared.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to go through and answer some of them?
Oh, I see. I don't know the
yeah.
name. Well, you will say her name. I will say their name. Yeah, ask for clarification. Most of them, I'm sure there are issues. The issue is probably the fact that it's using automatic translation. Yeah, I probably haven't looked at them.
Oh, the one she mentioned is that Orchard does a soft delete and not a hard delete.
You can close it and explain why. This is easy to explain.
Yeah, because what is it? Just because we do it?
Yeah, maybe it's the picture of their daughter. I don't know. Don't assume. What's the issue?
Oh, it's pretty cool that she adds GIFs onto here. That's pretty helpful.
Yeah, if I understand the issue.
Oh, disabling localization gives you a 404. I don't understand that one where she's saying that the content doesn't delete synchronously. 1, 2, 3, 8, yeah.
Try to translate back to Chinese and read the Chinese, we'll see. That's the issue, because it's automatically translated, so we don't know what it means. So maybe, yes, again, because there are drafts, you see, maybe there's a draft. No, there is no draft here. Or, again, we have all the versions in database. So it's just, yeah, it's not a bug, it's just you have to explain. Delete the published content entries. The database still save the data. Delete content is not synchronized. That's what the word synchronously is called. Do not know if this is general. Delete deleted content. Keep clean database files. There's a PR from Chantier that adds an option which is versioning in the content type. So you can say you don't want versioning of the content type. You just keep the latest and the draft. Well, sorry, the published and the draft. And it doesn't care about storing the versions. There's a PR for that. That might be the answer to use that. But it was adding too much complexity at that time, so I didn't want to bother with that. I think it's a good idea, but maybe that's the time. If the other solution will be, again, we keep the versioning and you define a module to prune the content that is older than whatever. This way, yeah, different features. It can be implemented as different features. That's good. Announcement. No, we can change, but nobody saw that. No, nobody cares. URL. It's to make the URL smaller.
What about the MSDN Twitter doing the announcement too?
Well, they retweet if they want to retweet. They decide what they want to retweet.
Oh.
That's fine. It will be retweeted enough. Good. We're done. No more questions. One comment: there won't be a triage on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, and nobody will come for Thanksgiving. And whatever. Usually it's Antoine, myself, and one or two other optionally that come, so that won't impact a lot. But there is a next meeting on next Tuesday. I think that's it. That's it. Let's see what everyone can do in a week of Thanksgiving on the project.